Tell me why you think Kirk belongs in that lineup.
Ask why there's 9,500 students there. Ask why there's a motivation by young people to drive from neighboring states to be there. Yes, it's the vice president. It's really the pivot point of what's happening, which is Charlie Kirk. And you may argue now his wife, who's become quite inspirational. In that garden, Charlie represents for young people what other iconic people represent for others. Why should we not honor someone who's engaged in a way which was so positive, reaching out to those who disagreed, and in turn brought people into the political process in a constructive, civil way, as opposed to a violent, angry way?
Yeah, he certainly touched a lot of young people. We're seeing it play out at Ole Miss, to your point. I'm going to switch gears here a bit, Senator. You've been one of the senators backing Josh Hawley's bill to keep SNAP funded even during the shutdown going on day 30. Why did you decide to support it?
Well, of course, we could have SNAP funding tomorrow if Chuck Schumer would stop the shutdown. But we should not. There's like 800,000 kids, people in my state, 350,000 children who rely upon food stamps. My governor may do a short-term thing, but the reality is that if the federal government has made this commitment for a family, which otherwise doesn't have the means to purchase food for their children, we should honor that because families have come to depend upon it. We're a rich nation. We don't want those children to go hungry. Again, I applaud my governor because he's trying to pick up the slack. President Trump has tried to fill in. Chuck Schumer could end it tomorrow by ending the shutdown. But in the meantime, let's get the SNAP benefits to the children who need it. It just seems the right thing to do. Would be if it was my child or your child, but let's do it for someone else's child.
Let's talk about Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. There is news he may get behind it. Do you see this as a rare bipartisan moment, or do you worry it will get folded into broader negotiations moving forward?
You know, this should be a bipartisan moment. If there's one thing that we can agree, is that children should not go hungry. And so if he would get behind this, that would be great.
Let's move on to the shutdown. As of today, there are some reports, even some optimism, progress in the shutdown. Can you give us your read? Is that optimism justified?
It might be. People are recognizing that when the Schumer shutdown, although it could end tomorrow, has not ended for almost a month. And the longer it goes, the more the troops aren't paid, the air traffic controllers aren't paid, keep on going down the list. And so at some point, folks realize that it's time to end. I'm hoping that time has come now.
I want to switch gears. Once again, it's a busy day. You've been one of the most vocal Republicans pressing RFK Jr. on vaccines in recent hearings. You also said just last month that parents should not have confidence in the vaccine advisory panel if it's reshaped under Kennedy appointees. That's a strong statement. Do you still stand by that, Senator?
But the ACIP right now has kind of tossed the consensus of science out the window. Not entirely. There's some things that they are pressing upon but not yet have changed. But I'm very uncomfortable with the rationale they're using for their decisions. I continue to encourage parents to speak to your child's pediatrician, but vaccines are safe and effective. I have seen, I'm a doctor, I have seen children and adults die from vaccine-preventable diseases. When I used to speak to the older pediatricians, they said before the measles vaccine, there were hospital wards filled with children there with complications of measles. We've had 2 children die in West Texas from measles, a vaccine-preventable disease. So anything which suggests that the vaccines are not safe and effective, and that the benefit of taking is much, much greater than the risk of taking, is misleading. And we've been hearing a lot of misleading talk.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.